Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 250,000 subscribers. Now we're almost there, thanks to you, and thanks to all the chaos. So hit subscribe if you like what you hear, watch it to the end, and most importantly, share with a friend so that you're in the know. Now, what does everybody know? Well, I don't know, but everyone is talking about the looming government shutdown, and they actually have until midnight tonight, Friday, to try and to figure this whole shit out. Now, I want to talk to you about the way that different politicians are responding to this drama. But first, we actually have to face reality. And I don't think that the Republicans have understood just how dangerous this government shutdown is. And it's not just that it's dangerous to us, the citizens, but it can also affect, believe it or not, Trump's inauguration. I don't think they thought about that. It could actually affect how the inauguration goes. Now, Politico did an entire story on this, and I want to show you some bits and pieces of that article. Shutdown threatens chaos for Trump's transition and inauguration. Transition landing teams were already delayed and may now lose access to the staffers briefing them. The article goes on to say that federal agencies only this week began briefing the Trump transition's landing teams, which began their work more than a month later than their predecessors. Now, if Congress can't cut a deal in the next couple days, those agencies could be forced to furlough much of the staff doing that work and shut down the government offices where it's taking place, impeding the incoming officials' access to documents and further slowing down already delayed preparations to take over the federal government next month. It also goes on to say, who's going to hand out the tickets to the inauguration to congressional offices? Who in the congressional offices are going to hand out tickets to the inauguration to constituents? She asked. The people escorting individuals who will be on the stage for the swearing in, who will be doing that? Who will be facilitating that process? Are there going to be enough Capitol Police officers there to provide the ample security that will be necessary for the swearing in? Will there be people there to work with their performers? And who's speaking? I mean, this is the whole problem. They weren't thinking about the mass effect that a government shutdown, one that we haven't had in a long time. But to do this at the last minute after you had a bipartisan, let me say that again, a bipartisan agreement that had been worked on now for somewhere, I think they said over 5 weeks. He basically cut the legs out, right out from underneath MAGA Mike Johnson. Now, some people are actually speculating that Trump did this on purpose. And you may say, why would he do such a thing? Maybe he wanted to get rid of MAGA Mike Johnson and maybe even have Elon Musk as Speaker of the House. You know, interesting thing is you don't need to be a member of Congress to be Speaker of the House. That's something, believe it or not, I didn't even know until a while back, about a year ago, when I actually read that. Now, I want to show you a clip of Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who went on television and he said that this proposal, the proposal that the Republicans put forth, it's just not serious. Play the clip.
The Musk-Johnson proposal is not serious. It's laughable. Extreme MAGA Republicans are driving us to a government shutdown.
Yeah. Again, if you watched any of my other clips, you saw my comments about these commentaries on Elon Musk being the president, Trump being the vice president, basically eliminating Trump from the entire conversation. By the way, that's what Trump wants. The Democrats were making such a mistake. They just don't know, again, how to play the Trump game properly. He wants this thing to be out there. He's pushing the envelope as far as possible to see how many actual senators, how many members of Congress are on his side and how many aren't, so he can get a better feel for how things are going to go for the transition. He's playing them, and Elon Musk will be the guy who ultimately gets thrown under the bus for the mistake, which Trump again doesn't care. And neither does Elon, because it's not going to affect a goddamn thing in his life. Now, here's the clip of Hakeem Jeffries speaking on the floor. Play that clip.
In our nation's 248-year history, 25% of our nation's debt was accumulated during the 4 years of the former president. 25%. How dare you lecture America about fiscal responsibility, ever? And then President Biden comes to office, gets big things done for the American people on infrastructure, on the CHIPS and Science Act, standing up a clean energy economy, rescuing America from a once-in-a-century pandemic, gets all of these big things done, partnering with House Democrats and Senate Democrats. And in the process, in his first 2 years, reduces the deficit by $1.7 trillion. And so we see a very clear pattern. The facts speak for themselves. Democrats are the party of getting things done and fiscal responsibility. Republicans are the party of massive tax cuts for the wealthy, the well-off, and the well-connected, which...
Yeah. By the way, not a bad idea. Hashtag Republican shutdown. Make sure that that thing goes out everywhere that you can possibly tag it on social media to ensure that the message remains constant and consistent, that this is not based on the Democrats but based on the Republicans. Because you already see the Republicans out there trying to push this and claim this is all about the Democrats. We saw MAGA Mike Johnson say it just the other day, claiming that this is the result of Democrats not wanting to sign the bill, despite the fact that it's exactly the same as the one that they were working on, the bipartisan, except for the 2-year removal of the need for a government, for government's assistance in the budget, which is major, by the way. So I now want to show you a clip of Elizabeth Warren calling for a reminder of who now runs the Republican Party. Play that clip.
And this is on them. And it really is the reminder who now runs the Republican Party. And it's Musk. He's the one who started tweeting at 4:30 this morning about what a bad deal this was and how terrible it was. And Donald Trump trails along much, much later and says, yeah, terrible deal. And then Donald Trump is the one who says, maybe we should get rid of the debt ceiling altogether. But is that what the Republicans propose? No. What the Republicans say is, let's just do a little period of time of getting rid of it, long enough to be able to grease the skids, to be able to pass a big, big tax giveaway to billionaires.
So you don't think...
Yeah. Look, she's right, except, as I said before, Trump knew exactly what Elon Musk was going to do. And could you imagine that based off of Twitter, I don't care how many followers that you have, that based off of Twitter, that you can actually change and get rid of a bipartisan bill? Nah, I don't buy it. And I don't think Elizabeth Warren is right on that. Now, here's a clip of Representative Becca Balint agreeing with what we have been saying, that billionaires don't care about us. And they don't. And anybody that thinks for a split second that they do, well, you need to have your head examined. Play the clip.
Billionaires are running the show here. And so what I want to say to people is, you thought you voted for Trump. You didn't actually. You voted for billionaires to run the show. Because who's taking orders from whom? Musk is calling the shots, and the House GOP is falling in line. And these billionaires, they don't care about us. They don't care about Americans. Elon Musk wants a big, massive tax break in the next administration. That's what this is about, folks. It's about a big freaking tax break for billionaires. That's what it's about. Don't be confused about what's going on here.
Do you think we'll be in a shutdown?
Oh, I do. Because they don't care. They don't care. And Johnson is so worried about his speakership that he's going to cave. He's going to cave. my Republican colleagues are going to cave because they're too afraid of being primaried to do the right thing. That's what this is about.
Thanks, Congressman.
You're welcome.
She's right about everything except for the beginning. Donald Trump's running the show. Let me be very clear that this administration coming in is loaded with billionaires, loaded with them. But why? They didn't turn around and say, hey, I want to be Secretary of the Treasury. I want to be Secretary of the Navy, or I want to be, ambassador to France. No, Donald Trump nominated them. They didn't nominate themselves for the position. She's wrong, and he's playing this. He's doing what he always does. He lets others go front and center on issues that have no upside. But who gets the upside? Trump does, because he gets a second bite at the apple without being held accountable. Listen, Elon Musk has the right to say whatever the hell he wants. That's what Trump's going to say. He has the right to say whatever he wants on his platform on Twitter, as you have the right to say whatever you want on your account on Twitter. You really think that that's what broke everything down, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not the one that told him to do it. He did it on his own. This is what I'm now planning. He could take a second bite at the apple. Now, if hypothetically, again, if everything went positive, he would take the credit for it. Now, I want to also show you a clip of Eric Swalwell saying that Democrats use common sense and competence. Play that clip.
And by the way, Donald Trump, not too long ago, did not want his party to raise the debt ceiling. And so this is because he is just incapable of governing. And so he wants them to do as much as they can now so that he doesn't have to be serious, when these decisions come down the pike. But as my colleague Lauren said, look, we're unified. And in the last Congress, you've never seen this in any Congress in America and any parliament in the world. The minority party, the Democratic Party, delivered the majority amount of votes on every vote of consequence. Multiple shutdowns that were averted, lifting the debt ceiling so we could pay our bills, funding the conflict to keep Ukraine in the fight. We delivered the majority. So we're going to show common sense and competence, and they are going to continue to bring chaos. And it's just on us to make sure the American people understand the difference.
By the way, you know what else the Democrats were successful in getting a vote on? Keeping MAGA Mike Johnson in his seat when Matt Gaetz had brought the motion to have him removed. Yeah, could you imagine that? Now, lastly, here's a clip of Representative Lauren Underwood telling Republicans to look in the mirror. Play that clip.
Well, Democrats remain united behind our leader, Hakeem Jeffries, who so capably articulated on the House floor our opposition to Elon Musk's plan to support these billionaires and the corporate tax cheats through their tax plan and then cut Social Security for your mom and your granny. I think that House Democrats are going to remain united and focused on delivering for the American people. And Republicans just need to look in the mirror. They need to remember that it was Mike Johnson, Donald Trump, and Elon Musk who put us in this position just one day before government funding ends.
Yeah, she's not wrong. I will tell you, if I had the ability within which to craft out a message, one of the things that is getting cut based upon this plan that's being put forth by Republicans is like $180 million for childhood cancer research. Everybody could understand that one. Republican, Democrat, independent, male, female, makes no difference. Everybody understands that. It's a ill-advised plan that's being put forth. But again, mark my words on this one. Trump will distance himself from Elon Musk and this plan because it's failed. And Donald Trump doesn't like failure, and they will now have another bite at the apple, whereby he can now blame Democrats for it failing to get through. These are the problems that we have. This is the chaos that we're going to be talking about together every single day. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.